two very different halves in this game, but down the stretch, I mean, Clemson makes an incredible comeback, but nevertheless, your players in the last 2 minutes found enough grit and heart to hold on and get the win.
We did. We got one or two really important stops down the stretch that was vital, and that was key to us. You know, we really came out flat in the second half. We played a great first half, let them back in the game, but again, anytime you're on the road, you can pull out a win, we'll take it. And I thought we were gritty, like you said, the last 2 minutes.
Well, you look at what you guys were able to do defensively, but also on the offensive end, getting the touches in the low post in the second half. You said that was going to be key, and there was a stretch when Clemson was really cutting into it where Sarah I kind of takes over, says, give me the ball, recognizing the man-to-man, wanting the basketball, and finishing a couple of shots up close.
She did. She demanded the ball today. She looked more confident down there. So I'm happy for her. But again, we just don't want to find ourselves in these situations too often. But again, on the road, and I'm pleased to be coming out with a W.
Coach, you talked about the importance of rebounding.
Yeah.
Lost the battle on the boards this rebound.
Killed.
Yeah, but and again, is that something that in the second half especially you kind of emphasize? You saw SI, Lauren Moses just provided huge sparks for the team inside, but overall not able to compete on the boards. Do you think that was a big part of why the game went the way it did in the second half?
Yeah, I just thought we kept them in it. You know, they hit some threes. We went zone. We were going man. They hit some threes. We came out of it. And ultimately, I mean, I think the stat line that's going to show up, and I'll have it, they killed us on the boards. They killed us. And so all those momentum points and those second chance, those, you know, you get a stop and then it's so deflating and you got to come back and play another 20 seconds of defense. It just wore us out.
Got to ask about Nikki Dixon. It seemed like we would look up and she's already got the ball going into the paint on the other end. The quickest transition guard you faced this year.
Yeah, they just got it out and she just took it coast to coast. And so we didn't even have time to get back. We were pulling everybody off the boards. And we just got somewhat complacent down there that last 7-8 minutes of the game. But again, the last two paid off for us.
Last thing for you, the next one on the road, a different kind of environment heading to, going to South Bend to play Notre Dame. Top 5 team in the country, and for a reason. But I am curious because even though this didn't finish the way you would have liked, you get a win on the road. You know, as long as, even though it wasn't the game you necessarily wanted for the full 40, your team figured out a way to win on the road. Do you take confidence from that going to Notre Dame?
It matters, you know. I mean, anytime you can come out, like I said, on a home floor and have the lead, lose it, come back, finish strong, we'll take it. It's not the basketball we want to be playing every night, but we just got to learn. We know going on the road we cannot have nights like this. So.
At Notre Dame, what can we expect? I mean, just tell us about some of the talents they have.
You know, just a complete team, 1 through 5. They all know their roles. They're a very systematic team. They shoot the ball well. They have a great post game. They're great passers to each other. They share the basketball. So we're going to have a great game going up there.
Bree, there's a certain point in this game where you got to be saying to yourself, you got to be kidding me. I mean, it just felt like everything Tiffany Lewis is throwing up is going in, and you see the Tigers coming back into it. What was said for the final 2 minutes for your team to settle down and take charge?
We just knew we had to get stops. I mean, we let a large lead get away from us, but at the end of the day, we just had to grind and get a win. Regardless of how the game went, we just needed that W.
Talk about the first half play, because it felt like about as strong of a rhythm moving the ball, not just around the perimeter, but the inside-outside game that you guys have had in quite some time. Sarah I recognizing as soon as she's getting doubled, finding the open player, and everybody shooting in rhythm.
Yeah, we knew coming into the game that they would double our post, so we practiced a lot with the post facing up and being able to kick out to our guards, and I think we did a good job of sharing the ball in the first half.
Bree, when you look at the freshmen on this team having such a big impact, how quickly have they matured, and have they kind of been forced to mature? Lauren Moses on that last play hustles to get the ball, immediately calls a timeout. Such a heady play, and just as a freshman, how big of an impact have they made as underclassmen?
I mean, it's been a tremendous impact. I mean, from the very beginning, they've had their highs, they've had some lows, but when you get this far in the season, you're not really a first year anymore. You've got to start playing like a second year, and I think they have.
Well, you look forward to Notre Dame now, and I feel bad almost taking away from this because it feels like we should all just take a deep breath, realizing that at the end of the day, this was a victory on the road, but you got to go right back on the road. And Notre Dame, it kind of feels like the same scenario going into Louisville a few weeks ago when, it's a top 5 team in the country, but it's more about, hey, we take our game on the road and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, we just have to play hard. They're going to have a great crowd. Notre Dame's a very good team. They have a lot of weapons, and so hopefully we just play hard and get that W.